Down in Long Beach, there's a little shop that's celebrating one of the area's most important crops, cranberries. With a research scientist on the property, as well as a museum and a gift shop, if you ever wanted to know anything about this special fruit, you can find it right here.
Really, our main goal is to educate people about cranberries.
As manager, Paula Reagor spreads the good news about local cranberries to everyone. After all, she uses them for just about everything.
I drink unsweetened cranberry juice with an herbal apple spice tea.
That's why you look so fantastic.
Thank you. I use 9 different cranberry-based products.
Wow.
I'm talking about supplements, skincare. There's more to it than just cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving.
We're standing right in between 2 different plots right now.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking at several different varieties here to see which one grows best.
Dr. Kraft is the Cranberry and Shellfish Extension Specialist with WSU. Here on site, she studies cranberry growth through a variety of different experiments.
This is a research project behind us. These are our warming chambers. So this is some greenhouse grade plexiglass that's being used. And the idea is we're trying to understand which varieties will best tolerate heat. And you can see pretty clearly that they grow even taller.
They do seem to like the warmer.
I'm not sure that I would say that they like it though, just because they've grown taller, which is typically a bad thing in cranberries. So we like cranberries to grow really low and put a ton of fruit on. When they start to grow tall like that, we're a little concerned that they're spending more energy on creating green leaves than they are fruit. By doing this type of research in order to understand how we'll heat, which might be changing the next 10, 15, 20 years, which varieties can best kind of tolerate increasing heat, that's going to help growers be able to make the best decisions for replanting cranberry vines. Here, we are using a pheromone for black-headed fireworm moth. These have laid their eggs, and now that larvae is just at the right size to make that pest management treatment. But when we go along with a sweep net, we definitely pull up those larvae.
Time for me to try out the sweep net.
It's a little more vigorous than most people expect, so don't be worried about kind of hitting the plant a little bit.
I can see why the bees might not necessarily appreciate this.
Let's see what we got. Ooh, these are black-headed fireworm moths. Very nice. That was some good sweeping.
Should I kill it?
You're welcome to kill it if you'd like.
Kill it. Inside.
Just squish it.
Now, Paula's taking me on a tour of the museum.
This is back when pipes were made out of wood. There's no PVC.
That's what this is?
This is a pipe that would have been an irrigation pipe on the bog, and it was dug up. And then we have a couple of cranberry sorters over here. And the cranberries, since they have hollow seed chambers inside, they're kind of like a ball, they bounce. And so the ones that bounce are good, and the ones that don't are rotten and forgotten. These would have been moving conveyors. You would have people standing here.
So I heard you have cranberry ice cream.
Yes, we do. We make it.
Say we go taste some.
I'm game, always.
This reminds me of when I was a kid.
And look at that color.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is. We make this every week, sometimes twice a week in the summer.
This is super refreshing.
That's right.
Great on a warm day.
Exactly, that's what I like. This place hasn't changed really in 100 years, so it's kind of a step back in time.